Hi, good morning. This is Howard Cohen. My name is Howard Cohen. I'm here with my friend Larry Chavez of the Monterey Rock and Roll Experience.
How do you do?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Fine. Everything's good.
Good, man. Good. No, and this is actually one of really the coolest stores of your type that I've ever seen.
I hope so. Yeah.
It really is. I mean,
meant to be.
it's. We're going to show everybody around in just a second here. What you've got, some of the stuff in here. It's not a huge space, but boy, you've got a lot of amazing. Why don't I flash the camera around real quick, and we'll take a little walk around in a second. But basically, you've got a ton of beautiful posters, artwork all over the walls, and some really classic rock and roll stuff. I mean, this place is just phenomenal, and got some cool guitars and really nice posters, Beatles, Doors, Hendrix, all kinds of books, records, and everything.
A little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah. So
our motto is all things rock and roll.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I wore my little Steven scarf for
there
you
you go.
tonight. Okay, so kind of try to keep with the experience.
Okay.
So all things rock and roll. So tell us, what was what's the concept behind this place, and
Well,
you?
the concept is to have a really cool place. That's number one. People walk through the door and they see the wow factor and they go, "Oh my God!" And I like that when they come in. I get the reading, director reading there, and that's what really turns me on is that people really enjoy this place as soon as they walk in. They got a lot of good things from the past and present to look at and to listen to.
Show us a couple of things. You got a couple of items?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Show us a couple of those. It's I mean, it is really unbelievable. It is an experience. I mean, when you walk in here, you've got just every single kind of visual thing you can imagine that are really cool.
We have some items that are fairly inexpensive to expensive items, like the Burlesque Beat handwritten poem by Jim Morrison.
Wow.
And which is super cool.
That's really cool.
And also we have an untitled poem, and we even got his birth certificate, believe it or not.
You do?
Yeah. So
actually, Jim Morrison's real birth certificate.
Yeah, and I wish I could show it to you. There it is, right there.
Wow, you're right. Look at that. That is amazing. Huh. Wow. How'd you get that?
Oh, through an estate. I knew a buddy that was selling some records, and his mom used to collect everything, Doors and Jim Morrison. She was a Morrison fanatic.
What a surprise, right?
Yeah.
His mom?
Yeah.
Oh. This is kind of cool.
Oh,
wow.
This is my 1953 Vendo Coke machine. It's been sitting around for years. It used to belong to my brother. When he passed away, he said, "Larry, you could have this as long as you fix it up."
It's nice. Perfect paint job on it, right? So tell us also, now you've got some things going on with the you were just telling me about a society that you're nonprofit that you're working with here in Monterey. And Monterey, California, just so everybody knows, is actually not as big a town as some people might think. Mm-hmm. It's a small, a couple of streets of downtown, and then the other part of town, which is
it's not the biggest place on earth, but it's and maybe that's not the happiest, but it's right now it's the coolest place on earth.
It is. No, it's an unbelievable place, and if you're coming up California way, you got to come visit Monterey, walk around. You're right just 2 blocks from the Fisherman's Wharf and the bike path right here, right?
Yeah. When I came into town, I moved in about 3 or 4 years ago, and I love the coastline, the beauty. The area and the weather was perfect.
It's gorgeous.
Round.
Yeah, like right now it's the middle of January and it's like 70 degrees.
I wanted to be embedded in the community, and I thought, let's open a business. Walking down the street, found a empty space, and let's fill it with really neat stuff so people could check it out and be attached to Monterey. Monterey happens to be a music town, believe it or not. With the jazz festival.
Sure, yeah, it's one of the top music places in the country, actually.
The blues, they had Blues Festival here for 30 years, and of course they had the most important seminal event in rock and roll history was the Monterey Pop Rock Festival, which took place in 1967, almost 50 years ago. Yeah.
That was with Jimi Hendrix and
Joplin, the Animals,
all who's who.
Right, and that took place right here in town. Yeah. So this is
down about a mile and a half away at the county fairgrounds.
Right. That's I consider this town.
Yeah.
But that's that is, like you said, one of the most quintessential moments in rock and roll history.
Oh yeah.
And if you're a rock and roll aficionado or somebody who likes to learn all about rock and roll and see the places, this would be a good place to visit.
Yeah.
And the Bay Area.
Yeah, and it was one of the reasons why we called it the Rock and Roll Experience, because Jimmy played here with his Experience band.
Right.
And I'm a Jimi Hendrix nut. So the first album ever I had was Are You Experienced, and the Cream's Disraeli Gears back in '67.
I just listened to that album like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
I love that album.
It's relevant.
Tales of Great Ulysses, right?
Yeah.
No, it's
I was naked ears were tortured by the sirens sweetly singing. Yeah.
I love that one.
Played that record to death when I was a kid. And I was really the love of that kind of music, and wishing, hoping to pass it on to other, future generations. Kind of corny, but no, rock and roll.
Yeah, you know what? I am the same. I have 3 kids, and I was cranking the Beatles and the Stones and all these Zeppelin and all the rock and roll that I love, the Who, even, and they later on I would catch them listening to the Beatles and stuff, and I'm like, really? Like, you guys really did like the Beatles that I was explaining, and they're like, yeah, we love the Beatles, Dad. It's like they're the greatest.
Yeah, so that music proved to be multi-generational. And even our kids are starting. They're brought up with the Beatles, because that was the foundation.
And
really.
Paul McCartney's still cranking them out, right? And the Who is still trying. And the Stones, and they're all out there still.
Out there.
So
and people enjoy that kind of music, and it'll always be here for them to enjoy. And this is just a piece of history right here.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to show a little more around the store here. And tell me while we're talking what this new organization that you're working with.
We have created an organization called the Monterey Music Experience, and our purpose is to bring good music and art into Monterey, specifically to help the Monterey History and Arts Association be regenerated, and hopefully they could save that museum, that wonderful museum they have at the end by the wharf. It's Museum of Monterey. And hopefully we can make it a occasional music venue and an arts gallery for rock and roll, jazz and blues.
That would be a great space too, because it's wide open, it's big, it lends itself to that. It's right on the pier there at the end.
It's where art and music will collide.
Yeah, no, I like that idea. That's a great idea. So it just further. You're basically the guy driving the present day rock and roll in Monterey. I'm going to think you're one of the players here.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only player, but yeah, there's plenty of people like me that want to see us succeed and carry on. Yeah.
That's really good. Okay, so give us your website and tell us, if they want to come to see you.
Well, you can just plug in, you just Google me, and my website would just pop up, the Monterey Rock and Roll Experience. Yeah,
That's
sorry.
right. No, that's good. No, I want you to
Monterey Rock and Roll Experience.
The slower you say it, the more people are going to remember it. So that's a good way to do it.
Well, I had a brain fart there. And
okay, so it's we'll just Google the Monterey Rock and Roll Experience in Monterey, California. And if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna come down to Monterey, there's a couple of great hotels right here: the Marriott, the Hyatt, Portola Hotel,
and a host of because we're a destination. We have plenty of room here to accommodate just about.
Oh no, there is. There's room, and you got a lot of great restaurants. I mean, within walking distance. You basically come to town. You don't need to drive anywhere. You got the bike path and the beach. You could walk along there. There's Cannery Row is just a mile up the road this way.
And we got we got the aquarium, which is like world renowned.
The aquarium's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. But we don't no longer want to be a one-trick pony. We want to encourage people to come and see the museum. And the museum's going to be awesome.
No, I can't wait to see it. This place is like a museum, though, quite honestly. I mean, if you're going to come, definitely bring a few $100 to spend at the Rock and Roll Experience, because you're going to walk in here and go, oh, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. You're not going to be able to afford to buy, Jim Morrison's birth certificate and something else. So you better just...
Maybe just a birth certificate. People come
What's that one go for, by the way? Are you selling that? Or?
Yeah, it goes for like about $5,000,
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a real deal to me. So, okay, why not? Yeah.
You can have my birth certificate for $5,000 too.
All right. Well, Larry, thanks a lot, man.
No, thank
I
you.
Really, really appreciate it.
No
and,
problem at
look
all.
forward to hanging out with you a lot more, definitely.
Yeah.
Over the next.
And somebody's calling me on my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Got to do business.
Yeah.
So, all right. This is Howard Cohen for Travelbum. Yeah, I screwed my own name up.
Yeah, really.
Travelbum Diaries and Open House Radio, signing off from Monterey, California, the Monterey Rock and Roll Experience. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.